The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
Along with Keefer, it is Tone the Bones, the Keefer and Kurre half-hour podcast. Sometimes we'll go 17 minutes, sometimes we'll go 30 minutes, sometimes we'll go longer. It depends. It runs on the Tony Kurre Radio podcast network. He is Keefer. I'm Tony Kurre. You been watching any of the Olympics by chance?
Not very much. Of course, I'm a big hockey guy, so I like watching the Canadian and American hockey teams. The women's hockey team for the USA are killers, Tony. They've shut out everybody they've played. They are just ridiculous.
They really are. What about that? What about the USA versus the world? You get a chance to check any of that out?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, really good stuff.
Pretty good stuff.
And, of course, the Olympics rear their ugly head right away with the ice dancing controversy, which I'm sure you followed. The American team, mega favorites to win the gold medal, does what a lot of experts or performs what a lot of experts regarded as the best performance of their lives in their free skate. They were given 1.2 points, which is huge in figure skating, less than the average of all the other judges by the French female judge. And guess what? That bumped them down to the silver and made the French team the gold medal winner. Isn't that amazing how that happens? This Olympic crap has been going on forever. It's, to me, Tony, a lot of the Olympics, and the reason I'm kind of turned off by it these days, it's almost like watching the United Nations adjourn for a couple weeks for athletic competition. It's all fixed. It's all rigged. It's all a bunch of BS. So much of it's subjective, and everybody has an agenda, and it's reared its ugly head again. And of all sports, in the ice dancing competition.
Listen. As long as we have sports, we're going to have cheating. All right.
Of course.
And you know that it's happened in Major League Baseball. It's happened in the NBA. It happens in NASCAR is the biggest cheating sport in the world. Everyone's trying to get an eighth of an inch. And if you go back, and I know that you watch a lot of History Channel stuff, and I've gone back and watched a lot of documentaries. I've been blessed enough to go to 4 different Olympics, including the one over in Atlanta. I was right across the street when the bomb went off. And I was over here in Birmingham when that bomb went off too, from the same guy within a block. I was a person of interest because I was within a city block of both those bombings. Anyway, it was really interesting if you go back and just look at the history of what the Olympics is. And when you go back to the 30s, when Germany was trying to, you had Germans look like everybody in the German team looked like a man. I mean, the women were 225, 230, and this is back in the 30s. Okay. Yeah. So they were bigger than linemen for the Alabama Crimson Tide because everyone was juicing. And of course, obviously Hitler wanted to make sure that everyone thought that Germany was this unbelievably propagandized, and it was for an extension of time, but they were winning medals left and right. It's because the women were 300 pounds. They were bench pressing 800 pounds. It was crazy.
Absolutely. They were, in fact, Hitler originally partnered with a pharmaceutical company in Germany to develop the earliest form of methamphetamines. And they were so successful in the Olympics, giving these guys these super pills to make them.
How do you think they almost won World War II?
That's
every single one of those guys, man. They were like, how in the world can they go? How in the world can these guys go for? There's some.
They have found the documentation. Yeah. The German Blitzkrieg that started the war, they took Poland in like 3 days because these guys marched like 55 miles without stopping over a 3-day period and wiped out the killed 100,000 Polish defending troops because they were so cranked up on meth. This is like you said.
They actually built like 17 meth labs during World War II, and they came in pill form, and they were like certs. You could take certs. That's right. And it said to take one every 3 days or whatever. And they would take this. And then even after they knew that their teeth were falling out and guys were killing themselves and they were starting to, they were shooting at things that weren't there. Then, the proverbial FDA, if you will, of Germany came out and said, this is not a good thing. They continued to make those things and continued to give them to their armed forces. And
because most of their army was addicted by that time. They had to. Yeah. That was the thing that got them off to such a ridiculous to start taking France and Poland in half a year.
The whole Blitzkrieg thing was, absolutely.
Yeah, but as soon as the real effects of it started kicking in, they were done.
Could you imagine our armed forces on methamphetamines? Yeah, our own forces on methamphetamines, that would have been something else.
It's in 1930s, like you said, that's just unbelievable.
They're making a battleship like every 45 minutes. Like, well, what the hell? It was nuts. All right, so I want to go back all the way to this other story. It's a little old, but I haven't got a chance to talk to you about it. I know once in a while you and I talk a little love. We just had Valentine's Day. Goodbye. I love Valentine's Day without having a wife this year, because I get to give all my stuff, the flowers and the stuff, to my daughter to tell her this is how a man should be treating you, and I love that. So she got 24 roses, she got the chocolate, she got the whole nice. Sturla Holmligrid, this Norwegian biathlete. I wanted to talk a little about this, and I know you know this story. After winning bronze, used his live post-race interview to confess that he cheated on his girlfriend.
Yes,
he admitted to infidelity during an emotional broadcast on NRK, stating he went public as a desperate attempt to prove his remorse and win her back.
Real tears, yeah.
First of all, good move, bad move.
A terrible move. That's not gonna, by admitting that he cheated, he's going to get her forgiveness. And by his profession of love now, women aren't built that way. We live in a completely different era now. We were talking about the 30s and yesteryear and whatnot. I told you last week, it's come up again. I just, listened to the entire audiobook, 11 hours of the Kennedy men and the women's lives they destroyed.
Wow.
And I mean, Tony, if you didn't have 5 or 6 or 7 things on the side, you were not a normal man in that era. And wives put up with it because, they were willing to exchange the security and the idea that they're this guy's wife, and all this other stuff is just what men do. That attitude is not in place anymore.
No.
You pull that violation, and I mean, you're done. She's not going to forgive him for that. And no matter how much grandstanding he does on a stage like that, I think that would be more humiliating to her than enlightening.
Thank you very much. I totally agree with you. There was a guy who was one of my best listeners, not a best friend, but one of my best listeners, listened to me every single day when I was doing classic rock and doing the morning show. And he cheated on his wife and felt that the only way he was going to get her back was to get on Facebook, make a video, and then obviously tag her in it, because he knew what a big Facebook, thinking that was going to be, hey, listen, it's the Scarlet A, right? I'm going to get out in front of everyone and tell them what I did. Well, first of all, 99% of the people on Facebook didn't care. The other 99% who knew him or knew her didn't realize that he had cheated on her. So now he's bringing that to light. So all of her friends are going, wait a minute, Tom cheated on you? And she's like, you dumbass, what are you doing? And what it did was it obviously initiated a divorce, went much expeditiously, went much faster, lightning speed. And so I'm thinking to myself, to this guy, was he trying to save the relationship, or was he trying to ruin it?
Oh, that's a good question.
First of all, the guy's a good-looking guy. He wins an Olympic medal. I know some women that would say, sure, cheat on me. I'm going out with an Olympic medalist. I mean, that's right. Okay with me. And so I'm thinking to myself, did this guy
on that medal? Yeah.
and he's young enough. He's going back. So I'm thinking to myself, did he do this to break the relationship up, or was he actually trying to save it? Because now she looks like a putz. No, one of the reasons women hate being cheated on, for obvious reasons, because it's an absolute killer in trust and love and all that stuff. I get that. One of the reasons women hate that is because then it makes it look like the woman's not giving the man what he needs at home.
Well, that's right. It's a reflection on them.
It is the worst.
He has to look elsewhere.
It is, exactly. And it is worse when it's the other way around. Because when a woman cheats on a man, that tears a dude's heart out, because he wants to be validated by 2 things, by his wallet and by his wiener. And if he's not pleasing you at home and taking care of you at home, it's a killer. And for her to go out and cheat on you means she ain't getting what she wants at home. And that makes you look like a putz. Could you imagine if the tables were turned? I've never seen this happen, but maybe you have. You're on social media a lot more than I am these days. But a woman coming out and apologizing to a guy on Facebook that she cheated on him?
Never, ever happens.
And,
Never.
and what would that do? I mean, how pathetic would that be? And just think about what the guy would actually do. What I mean, I'm trying to think if my wife or my girlfriend got on Facebook, first of all, it would piss me off to no end because I wouldn't want everyone to know my business. But for someone to sit there and say, I did something horrible and I cheated on you, and to do it on, this is not network television. This is world television. This is around the entire world. You pull up, Olympic apologizes to girlfriend. It is plastered everywhere. I'm just thinking to myself. So I'm thinking about this thing. And then I started tangenting off like we do. The tree started blossoming things in different branches. And I started thinking about the stupid things that we feel like we must get on social media to disclose to the whole world about whether we just broke up with somebody, whether we have some type of medical condition that may be irreversible, and we're looking for prayers, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but just be careful. Well, the more prayers, the better. Not when you're putting yourself out there and telling everyone, everything about the X-ray and about what your situation is with your cancer protocol and everything else. And then, the idea that people are using social media, in this particular case, network television, to send a message to somebody is always the wrong way to go.
And isn't it a stark commentary on the times we live in, where you choose that option to involve, like you said before, thousands of people that may be friends or acquaintances, some that don't even really know you, when you involve them in the process, as opposed to, true contrition would be to have a actual, this is a real revelation, have an actual conversation with the other subject of the situation. Fall on your knees, do what's necessary, throw yourself on the mercy of the court if you feel like you have to confess your transgression, but don't do it on public social media. I mean, I'm guilty sometimes when I'm feeling bad about things. I'll put something cryptic up, which nobody really understands anyway. People are like, post like in response question marks. I'll put up a song lyric that particularly appeals to me. I've
seen it.
Yeah. But, I don't go on there and say, hey, so-and-so, I should not act out even in that way. But sometimes when you're by yourself and you got nothing but time to think, sometimes I just like to kind of express where I am mentally with, these kind of like cryptic little things.
You can always call me, I'll always listen.
Yeah, I know but you feel like an absolute fool to really spell it out. But it all goes back to the same thing. I'm watching this great miniseries right now. I don't think they're called miniseries anymore. It's a great series on Paramount Plus called Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. Very good, fantastic. And I'm not going to spoil that for people that are just watching, but the very end of the very first season, there's a situation where, and these are the things that really get to me. He's captured by the drug cartel. He's on the verge of being tortured to death, and I won't tell you what happens, but he gets out of it, and he goes back home. He's laying on the sofa. His wife, who they've been broken up and they've come back together, she comes out and sees him in this terrible condition and says, "What happened to you?" And he looked up and said, "My whole life was right before me, and like they say, and I could see everything, but the only thing I could see was you." And those kind of things. I mean, I'm a romantic, Tony. I don't belong in this era. I don't like the stop by for a quick one. I don't like, having pieces on the side or whatever. I'm a romantic guy. I'm a relationship guy, and I'm absolutely miserable right now. I did post on Facebook, and if this is wrong, this is confession for me, but on Saturday, I put, it's very easy for me to make this call. My least favorite day on the entire calendar every year is February 14th. I hate it. It's a discriminatory holiday. It makes me feel worse about myself and my isolation. And I absolutely hate Valentine's Day. I wish it wasn't a thing.
Well, one of these days, perhaps you'll be able to share it with somebody.
Yeah.
You want to talk about romantic? I went to Bluff Park Methodist Church yesterday. A friend of mine was singing in a choir and there were like 75 women, 75 guys, a full orchestra. The church was full. And the third song started playing, and I felt something on my shirt, and I looked down, and it was my tears. I was crying at a choir.
Well, that's better than a tarantula, but
I was crying. The black dude next to me is like, "Are you okay?" And I said, I was so moved by a choir performance.
Wow.
And didn't even know I was crying at the time. You know me, and you know my heart. And I've cried in front of you, but I was like, what am I doing? And it felt really good. So I understand your romanticism. So we have discerned through this short and easy podcast, guys, don't ever load your laundry or tell anything on social media.
And if you love somebody, man up.
Go tell them.
And it's not manning up when you to go and find somebody else. And if you're truly in love and in a relationship that you value, don't cheat. Don't give in to that temptation. It's inexcusable. Yeah. And then don't expect people to forgive you, or particularly the person that you're in love with, because that is just the ultimate betrayal.
And I'll say this, and I did Albertville, I did Littlehammer, I did I did Atlanta, I did Japan, right before the Olympics and the Olympic Village opens. What do? They hand out 150,000 condoms.
Unbelievable.
You got all these people that are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. They all have incredible bodies. They work out every single day. They've got all this testosterone and estrogen going through their brains. They're super competitive. They know exactly what they want. And man, they want to take it out on some people. And some people are like, I don't have sex. Let me tell you something. It is an orgy. I'm just telling you, it's an orgy, because you're not going to see these people again. You've got 10 days to get your yayas out. Some people just go for that. Forget about the pin trading thing. They're trading skin, man. I mean, it's unlike anything you've ever seen, and there is love in everyone's eyes. So if you're if you're in the Olympics and you're already talking about cheating on your girlfriend, and you're still there, perhaps you should wait till maybe you get back, because I'm telling you, if this guy's already cheated on her, he's probably thrown. Yeah, if you're going to cheat big. If you're going to steal big, my friend. Go for it, because every type of skin in the world is out there to you, and chances are she won't even know your name before you leave her in the dust over there in the Olympic Village. So,
I mean, what are we reduced to in humanity, where it's just just like a pig trough, and it's just a wide open show. I don't know. I'm just not built that way. I never have been, and I don't apologize for that. I don't condemn anybody for anything they want to do, but that's just meaningless sex to me just makes no sense.
I will share this story with you, and then I'll let you go. I've already shared my Herb Winch's story.
That's my favorite.
Herb Winch's was with me on all four of these events we went, and of course we did it through Coca-Cola, and I used to collect shot glasses because I needed something to come back. I knew that I was going to, and I wish I'd taken more pictures. This is before cell phones.
Sure.
And so I wanted to have some type of trinket, something I could remember all these wonderful trips I had. And it was just amazing. And so I was collecting shot glasses. And so we went, when we were in Lillehammer, Norway, after we left the Viking bar, we went to another bar. It's like 3:00 in the morning. And there was this woman. They have Olgas and Helgas. Olgas are the rock ones. Helgas are the ugly ones, Olgas and Helgas. And this blonde was maybe the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was angelic. There was light behind her. I heard angels. I heard singing. I was drunk. She was too. But she's walking around the bar, and she has got this thing wrapped around her neck. It's a chain, and she's leaning over the bar. And what it is, it's a shot glass. And it was a shot glass in the shape of a Viking helmet that was made out of pewter. And she was taking the helmet and turning it upside down. And obviously guys were pouring liquor in her little helmet, and then she'd drink and move on.
Wow.
And I walked up to her and I said, hey, I'm from the United States of America. And I said, I'm really looking to collect some shot glasses. I think she thought I was probably hitting on her, and I probably was. But I said, I'd give anything to know where you got that shot glass so I could have something to remember this moment by. And she looked at me and planted one right on the lips and took it off her neck and put it around my neck. And she said, my father made this for me. And I'll ask him to make me another one. She goes, but this will give you something.
How cool.
Something you remember. So yeah. And I don't think I washed my lips for like 3 or 4 weeks. It was fantastic.
Wow. Wow. That's a great story. That's better than the other part of the story where you guys went in a bar first and Herb Winches was being hit on. A guy asked Tony, pointing at Herb, can I dance with your partner? They didn't know.
Normally I would not say yes, but we're in Norway. Why not? Herb, go ahead.
I'm gonna take one for the international team. Yeah, go ahead and knock yourself out.
You son of a bitch. Oh my gosh.
I hear Herb still corresponds with that guy.
Oh, that is hilarious. And it was a Viking gay bar. Don't tell me there's not gays in every type of culture. It's out there.
The Viking heritage, those transatlantic journeys in the 1200s, probably took quite a while. So I don't think there was many Olgas or Helgas on those boats.
You get a Viking ship full of 135 guys and no women on it, and they're out the ocean for 4 months. You tell me what they want to do when they get to port. That's all there is to it. And it ain't drinking out of shot glasses. I got news for you.
Nope.
All right, my man. Starting lineup again this week. You're going to be out this week, so we're going to have Jess Spiegel's going to be sitting in for you.
That'd be great. Yeah. We're gonna get you a segment for the show, so we'll be present. But we're also going to get some great footage, both from Tampa Bay Downs at the horse races on Saturday, and we're going to 3 straight preseason spring training games, and we'll be doing some stand-ups. So the week after this, a week from this Thursday, we'll come back with footage from our trip to spring training, and we're really looking forward to that. It's a great atmosphere. All these teams, Tony, now have these brilliant new stadium complexes, these headquarters. These aren't rickety little places that they play like in a field in the middle of a pasture. These places are miniature.
They used to be, but now they're beautiful.
I know it. Completely equipped stadiums.
Every place looks like Regents Park.
It does.
It looks like Regents Park.
That's a very good description. Yeah. And let's give Regents Park some credit. I'm not overwhelmed with the facilities in Birmingham, but they did a first-class job. I'd like to see, I'm guilty of this myself because I don't follow minor league baseball, but I've been to a couple of games there for other events and really enjoyed the experience. Regents Park is really, really nice.
You have to move to one and you can't leave for the rest of your life. Are you going to the Cactus League or the Grapefruit League?
I've lived in both. I'm going to the Grapefruit League.
You're going Grapefruit? Okay. All
right. I like Arizona. I like a lot about it, but in the summer it's so oppressively hot.
It is.
Florida always has the ocean breeze. I would change that if I had to choose in the middle. I don't understand why you live in Florida and live in Orlando or Gainesville. That makes no sense.
No breeze.
Live on the beach. Mm-hmm. Live on the ocean. But on either coast, and I'm more of an Atlantic guy. I know everybody in Alabama. Well, I'm going to the beach this week. Where are you going? Well, Gulf Shores. It's like the only place that's there. It's like they look at you like you're crazy. I said, have you ever been to Daytona or Cocoa Beach? No, that's too far. It's 2 more hours, dude, and it's the real ocean. So I'm an Atlantic guy. I'll always be one. I am who I am, Tony. I'm like Popeye. I am who I am, and that's what I'm all about.
There you go. Have yourself a safe trip. I will see you when you get back, my friend.
All right, Tone, thanks.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.